Guys, we're doing now a quick chazara on what we did yesterday. Remember, we're going to do it outside and then inside, right? We started yesterday about the Rebbe was arguing on Shitat Rabbi Elazar, and he says, right, on Shitat Rabbi Eliezer came and he said, Yom Tov Rishon Shel Chag, comes Rebbe and says, Rabbi Eliezer, you can mention it all year round. Just like Techiyat HaMetim, you can mention it all year round. You could also mention this all year round. There's no problem. All of a sudden, what happened is that he came and he changed. What did he change? Comes Rebbe and he argues on Rabbi Eliezer, and he says on Rabbi Eliezer, I apologize, it doesn't work that way. Why doesn't it work that way? He comes and he says, so therefore what happens now is Rebbe comes and he argues and he says, no, Omer Ani, I'm going to say that is incorrect. What does it mean that it's incorrect? It's incorrect means that you could only mention it as long as you ask for it. The second that you make a pasek from asking for it, you make a pasek from mentioning it. So you're not supposed to mention it whatsoever from Pesach and onwards. Afterwards, we brought down the Shitav Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera. Don't confuse this with another Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera comes and he says, you're going to mention it from the second day of Yom Tov, and we're going to explain why. Third Shita, Rabbi Akiva comes and he says, you're going to mention it from the sixth day of Yom Tov, of Chag, and we'll explain why, right? From the sixth day of Chag. The next Shita is Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rabbi Yoshua, which that's our Mishnah. And this is actually perfect because it says now that Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rabbi Yoshua. But remember, Rabbi Yoshua, that's how we paskin, like in our Mishnah. We went like Rabbi Yoshua. There's Yom Tov Acharon Shel Chag. So comes Rabbi Yehuda and he comes and he says the name of Rabbi Yoshua. However, Lifnei Teva Yom Tov Acharon Shel Chag, Hacharon Maskir, Harishon and Maskir. So the Musaf is going to mention, the Shachrit's not going to mention. Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, Harishon Maskir, Acharon and Maskir. Okay, until here we're clear. This is what we did yesterday. Then we went and we said, 1 second, Shapir Ka'amale Rabbi Eliezer, which means Rabbi Eliezer was right. He said it correctly against Rabbi Yoshua. What's your problem? So the answer, Rabbi Yoshua is going to answer you. Bishama, it's going to be good that Techiyat HaMetim you're going to mention all year because that's its time. If Mashiach would come right now, and then afterwards, B'ezrat Hashem soon will come, Techiyat HaMetim, it's its proper time. However, though, what is rain is always something, is always its proper time. What about the curse that happened with Shemuel, that he went and he showed Bnei Yisrael that there was a curse of having rain during the summer. And during the summer, rain is going to be a curse. And that's where we finished off yesterday. I'm going to do it very quickly inside, and then we continue. Says the Gemara, Rebbe Omer. Rebbe argues on Rabbi Eliezer, and he says, Omer Ani, I am going to say, Misha shemafsik l'she'ela, from the time that I'm going to stop for asking, Kach mafsik la'askara, so too you're going to stop mentioning, which means just like there's going to be, you're going to stop asking for rain. When do you stop asking for rain? On Pesach, you stop. So too you're going to stop mentioning it. Okay, Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera says B'sheni b'chag, on the second day of the Chag. That's when you're going to start mentioning, right, the Mashiv Roch Geshem. Rabbi Akiva says B'shishi b'chag, on the sixth day of the Chag. Shishi, yeah, on the sixth day, right? Then Rabbi Yehuda Mishum Rabbi Yoshomen. Rabbi Yehuda says the name of Yeshua. Somebody that's going to be Hovel Lifnei Teva on the last day of the Chag. Ha'acharon Maskir, Rishon and Maskir. The last one, which is Musaf, is going to mention it. The first one's not going to mention it. Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, Rishon Maskir, Acharon Maskir. Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, the first one's going to mention it. The last one's not going to mention it. So says the Gemara, 1 second. Shapir Kamale Rabbi Eliezer Yeshua. It's good what Rabbi Eliezer came and he told Rabbi Yoshua. Shapir, it's good. What does that mean? He was right. What's your problem? So he comes and he answers, Rabbi Yoshua is going to answer you, Bishlema Techiyat HaMetim Maskid. It's good at Techiyat HaMetim that you're going to mention it, because every single day is its proper time. Ela Geshamim, but when it has to do with rain, Kol Ema De'atan Zmanai. Well, every time that the rain comes, you're going to tell me it's a Zman? Right? But now we learned to the Mishnah, Yatsa Nisan, if Nisan came out, Yardu Geshamim, right? And it started raining. Siman Klalayim, it's a Siman Klala, Shrema says in Pasuk. Halo Ketzichtim Hayom, and again you have to continue the Pasuk, which means that there was written there that Shemuel HaNavi was trying to chastise the Jewish nation, and he was trying to tell them what you did was actually something negative. It was bad, and since it was something bad, I'm going to show you that I'm going to bring rain, and rain during this time is a Klala. So therefore, that's what he went and he showed them that it was negative that they asked for a king. Okay, and this is now what we're going to do today. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do outside first, and then we'll do inside. But I'm going to break it up into two. Okay, so that way it makes it easier for you. First part is, now we're going to analyze Rabbi Yehuda ben Metirah. Remember, Rabbi Yehuda ben Metirah said, Misheni shelcha, right? From the second day of Chag. And the question is, why? What, you just did ini, mini, manimo? I understood Rabbi Eliezer. Why does Rabbi Eliezer? Why would I understand Rabbi Eliezer? Netilat lulav. Right? I understand Rabbi Eliezer. I'm picking up the lulav. Rabbi Yoshua, when you're putting down the lulav. Why the second day of Chag? Why the sixth? You're right. We're going to analyze that as well. So the Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda ben Metirah comes and he says, very, very simple. You know what we're going to do, right? We're talking about the Parashat HaMoadim. Which parasha are we talking about? Parashat Pinchas. Yeah, and so in Parashat Pinchas, we have over there, by the way, we have Rosh Chodesh, we have Pesach, we have Shavuot, we have Rosh Hashanah, we have Kippur, we have Sukkot, and we have all the 7 days of Sukkot until finally Bayom HaShemini, Shemini Atzeret. So you have all the days. Now I'm going to teach you a lesson in Torah. Listen carefully. We're going to start on the Yom HaRishon on the first day. He comes and he says, "Yeah, usidizim, right? Echad milevad odat mincha minchata v'niska." Yeah, it finishes off v'niska. Second day, uvayom hasheni parim v'mekavod. Yeah, it comes and he starts off uminchata v'niskehem. It changes. Third day, uvayom hashlishi parim shemasa. Right? That's the third day. Fourth day. Okay? Fifth day. Sixth day. It changes. 1 minute. Okay, until here we're clear? Fine. But Yom HaShemini is actually, it's irrelevant because it's Shemini Atzeret, but there we do say Uminchata v'niska. We do say v'niska. Yeah, that's one change, right? Did you realize? V'niska. We said v'niskehem on Yom Sheni, and then we said unsacheha on Yom HaShishi. Another difference is, pay attention, Yom HaSheni, right? Yom HaSheni parim right? Right? Umichata v'niskem laparim la'elim v'lekvasim v'misparam kamishpat. So Yom HaSheni kamishpat. Yom HaShlishi umichata v'niskem laparim v'misparam kamishpat. Okay? Yom HaShlishi. Yom HaRevi'i, right? Umichata v'niskem laparim v'misparam kamishpat. Until here we're all the same. Yom HaChamishi, fifth day. Right? Uminchata v'niskem b'misparam kamishpat. Right? What happens? It says b'misparam kamishpat. Okay? All of a sudden, right? We continue. Right? Uminchata v'niskehem laparim la'elim v'kvasim b'misparam kamishpat. Right? And then on Yom HaShevi'i, right? Listen carefully. Uminchata v'niskehem la'elim v'kvasim b'misparam kamishpatam. It doesn't say kamishpat. Kamishpatam. So all the days was kamishpat. All of a sudden, Yom HaShvi kamishpatam. So now 1 second. What were the extra letters? What were the extra letters? So the first one was, right, in v'niskehem, the mem. Instead of v'niska, v'niskehem. Second one, right, is that it's not going to be the mem, Yom HaShishi. You're going to come and you're going to say, unsacheha, the yod. The yod is extra. Vayom HaShevi'i, v'misparam, kemishpatam. Instead of kamishpat, kemishpatam. The mem is extra. What does that sound like? Mem, yod, mem, mine. Says Rabbi Yehuda ben Metirah, the fact that I have an extra mem, I have an extra yod, and I have an extra mem, which is mine. So therefore, I do it on Yom HaSheni. And you're going to ask me, why Yom HaSheni? Why Yom HaSheni? Which days did you have different? You had Yom HaSheni, you have Yom HaShishi, and Yom HaShavi. So he says, since we started the change of mine on Yom HaSheni, so that's when we're going to start the change of asking for mine on Yom HaSheni. That is the shita of Rabbi Yehuda ben Metera. Now I'm going to read it inside. I hope everyone understood that. One second, I hope everyone. We're now learning it inside. Rabbi Yehuda ben Metera Omer. Rabbi Yehuda ben Metera says, Basheni bechag umaskir. On the second day of the Chag, you're going to mention Mashiach Ruchum and the Geshem. My ta'amad Rabbi Yehuda ben Metera. My, what is ta'amad, the tam, the reasoning, right? Or sometimes what's the taste? Right? Tam is also taste. But the reason is because once you understand the reason, you understand the taste of it. Right? You understand how to savor. You have the, what's the taste? What's the reason of Rabbi Yehuda ben Metera? Titania, because we learned in a Braita. We learned in a Braita. Rabbi Yehuda ben Metera says, right? He comes and he says the following. Yeah, Ne'emar b'sheni. It says on the second day of the Korbanot of Sukkot, v'niskehem. Yeah, so it adds the extra mem. V'ne'emar b'shishi, and it says on the sixth day, unsacheha, which is the extra yod. Yeah, v'ne'emar b'shvi, and it says on the seventh day, kemishpatam, right? The extra mem. Harei, so behold, mem, yod, mem. You have mem, yod, mem. Mayim, water, mayim.
Where did these point to? The vav, the hey.
Now, I will tell you a beautiful chidush of the Marsha outside, which I thought you would ask me, right? But you didn't. Why is it that on the Yom HaSheni and Yom HaShishi, the chidush was on the Veniska, on the Nisuch? Remember, Nisuch, right, is a Nisuch, right? And on the Yom HaShavi'i, it's on the Mishpatam. So says the Maharsha, because the Sheni and the Shishi, it's all on the concept of the Nisuch HaMayim. On the Shavi'i, it's Nigmara Mishpat. We finish a Mishpat. So therefore, that's why we mention it on the Nigmara Mishpat, right? That we are finishing the judgment. Okay? Very good. Says now the Gemara. Says the Gemara now, one more time. You have mem, yod mem, harekan mayim. Nikan remez lenisuch hamayim min atorah. So from here is the hint of nisuch hamayim min atorah. Now why? It actually makes a lot of sense because when do you do nisuch hamayim? On which chag? Sukkot. So the fact that we came and on Sukkot we pondered and we came and we changed and we got mayim out of that. So therefore, you're going to do it when? On Yom HaSheni. Yom HaSheni, we started the change. So says the Gemara, why are you going to start only on Yom HaSheni? He says, answers the Gemara, right? Everyone understood Maishna? What's the difference? You remember Maishna? Dinakat. Dinakat means to grab, right? To take. Why did he take? Why did he choose specifically Basheni, the second day of the Chag? So answers the Gemara, Dechi remize lehu bikra. Because when he is remez, hinting it to him in the pasuk, kra is the pasuk, like mikra is chumash, mikra in the pasuk, basheni hu deremize. It's going to be on Monday that he is hinting it to him. So therefore, not Monday, sorry, the second day, right? Sheni is the second day. Automatically, my mind says that Yom Sheni is the Monday, right? On the second day of the Chag, that's when it was hinted. So therefore, since the Nisuch HaMayim, which is coming Liratzot Al-Geshamim is written in the Torah, it's already hinted on the Yom HaSheni, and that's when we started changing, and we said V'niskehem. So too, on the second day is when we're going to come, and we're going to mention Al Hamayim. Hilkach, therefore, Basheni Madkirinan. On the second day, Madkirinan. What is Madkirinan? We are going to mention it. How do you know the Madkirinan? Maskirin. How do you? Not only by the Baramit. We have the letters which come from the same sounds. You know, there's guttural sounds. There's the same place. So therefore, they change. So the Dalid and the Zayin, right? They come from the same place. Since it comes from the same place, Zachar and Dachar is the same thing. So Zachar is to mention, to remember. Dachar is also the same thing, to mention, to remember. So therefore here, that's why it says, Basheni, Madkerinan, we're going to mention it on the Yom HaSheni. I'm going to go outside again. We are now in Shitat Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva comes. Shh, please, everyone. Rabbi Akiva comes and he says, right, Beshishi Bechad, on the 6th day of Chag. Now we have to understand, where did he come from? Shishi Bechad. Right away, right? Philip came and he's comes Rabbi Akiva and he says, why do I learn that according to Shitat Rabbi Akiva that it's going to be on the 6th day and not on the 2nd day? He says because on the 6th day, what were the shinuim? What were the differences? We said that the first difference was on Yom Sheni. What was the difference? No. Beniskehem. Right? Beniskehem, the mem, Beniskehem. Second difference was Yom HaShishi. What was it? The letter Yod for Unsa Cheha. Third difference was Yom HaShevi'i. What was it? Kemishpatam. The mem. Right? Kemishpatam. Because the mishpat was on the 7th day. It's Nigman on the 7th day. So therefore the judgment is that judgment day finished. So therefore it's the mem. So now comes Rabbi Akiva and he says, 1 second. When you have the double Yod in Unsacheha, what is it hinting to us? 2 types of nisuchs, right? Unsacheha, right? Not the double yod, meaning that the fact that I'm adding a yod, right? So therefore, there was beforehand niska. Unsacheha means double. There's 2 nisachim, right? Unsacheha. So therefore, one is mayim, one is yain, one is water, and one is wine. Okay. So the yod unsacheha, the yod. So therefore, he comes and he says, because it's plural now. Right? Just like I told you and I answered you, that you told me 1 second, when it says Beniskehem also has a yod. I told no, but the second that I had the mem, it was already plural. So the yod that shows you plural, I don't need the yod. So therefore the mem was the ikar. When it says Kamishpatam, that's also plural. When it says, right, Unsacheha, that's also plural. So according to Rabbi Yama Metra, he just learned it, mem yod mem. According to Rabbi Kiva, he says 1 second, when it says Unsacheha, we're talking about two nisuchs. Nisuch hamayim and nisuch hayayin, right? Nisuch of water and nisuch of wine. Remember that a lot of the korbanot all year round had flour offerings, mincha, and niskehem, minchatam v'niskehem, mincha, flour offering, and niskehem, and a wine offering, a wine libation. It's called wine libation. Libation means that they used to pour wine also on the korban, right? Ravita loga of wine, and therefore he comes and he says, right? Therefore he comes and he says, what's going on is that since it says unsachea with extra yod, it's 2 different ones. One for the water and one for the wine. Ask the Gemara against Rabbi Akiva. Ask the Gemara, maybe both of them are on wine, right? Why do you say that it's going to be one on one? Maybe both of them are talking about wine. So answers the Gemara, he still also holds Av Rabbi Yehuda Metera, that there's still a hint of the water. Meaning the Mem Yod Mem is still there. He still agrees to that shita of Mem Yod Mem. But he says to start on the 6th day because the ikar of the remez is hinted to on the 6th day. So he still holds of the mai, and he still holds of the changes in the mem, yod, mem, he still holds of that. But, right, it's going to be on the 6th day, which that's the ikar, not on the 1st day, because we started it on the 2nd day, sorry, on the 2nd day. Sorry, you started on the 2nd day, but rather on the 6th day, because that's where you actually mentioned the double hitters, which is the double yods. Now we're going to do it inside. Rabbi Akiva Omer, Rabbi Akiva says, Bashishi bechag hu maskit. Right? Bashishi, on the 6th day of the chag, you are going to mention it. Shneemar bashishi, because it says on the 6th day of the chag, unsacheha. And it doesn't say v'niska, which is singular, like all the other days. So therefore he says, right? It says unsacheha. Unsacheha. So therefore, bishne nisuchin hakatuv medaber, on 2 nisuchin, 2 nisuchs, right? 2 libations. The pasuk, the katuv is what's written, what's scripture, right? Which is nisuch hayayin, the wine libations, the pouring of the water, the pouring of the wine. Libations, Libatation. Right, the 2 libations, right? Hakatuv medaber, the pasuk is talking about echad nisuch hamayim, 1 nisuch hamayim of water, ve'echad, and 1 nisuchayain of wine. So therefore, you have the wine on the mizbeach, and you have the water on the mizbeach. So therefore, since we're learning, right, that nisucha mayim is going to be from this pasuk of Yom HaShishi, right? Because again, according to Rabbi Akiva, we didn't know until right now, until afterwards, that he still holds of mayim. So that means, according to Rabbi Akiva, maybe we thought that we erased everything. According to Rabbi Akiva, why the 6th day? It only says unsachea. That's it. We didn't know anything about it. We didn't know mayim. We didn't know nothing. So for according to Rabbi Akiva, it was only written unsachea. Unsachea means veniska, but in plural. The plural of libations. One for water and one for wine. And therefore, right? And therefore, since it's written plural, right? Because unsachea, the extra yod, makes it plural. Instead of veniska, which is singular, unsachea makes it plural, right? That's right. So now what happens is that comes Rabbi Akiva. When is it written unsachea? Yom HaShishi. So Yom HaShishi, you're going to mention it. Okay? Very simple. According to Rabbi Akiva, it's very, very simple. Okay? Says the Gemara, ve'ema tarvayu dechamra. Who told you? You're right. When it says unsachea, it's plural. Right? Unsachea means plural. Two. Right? It doesn't say v'niska. It says unsachea. But who told you one is for water and one is for wine? Maybe both of them are for wine. Right? Both of them are for wine. And therefore, on the 6th day, you have to bring double wine. Yeah? Yom HaShishi, Shishi, you have to bring double wine. Both are for wine. Whoever told you that one is for water, one is for wine? So answers the Gemara, Savala, Rabbi Akiva holds. Savar, he's sover, he holds. La, like Rabbi Yehuda ben Mitera, the Amar that he says, Remize Maya. We still have the extra remez of the Mem Yod Mem. So therefore, since we still have the extra remez of Mem Yod Mem, I still use the remez for mine. But when do I apply the application? When the actual mayim is hinted mefurash, when there's a double nisu, which that's going to be on the Yom HaShishi. Even though the Gemara is going to ask on that now, right? Which basically is, if you already hold like Rabbi Yehuda ben Mitera, so why don't you actually say like him exactly? So okay, we're gonna go back, but that's again tomorrow, Be'ezrat Hashem.